Good morning, my dear students. My name is Dr. Sachin P, Assistant Professor of English, KRB College, Mundargi. Today, I would like to take a lesson on the development of language for BA 6 semester students of English. So, in this class, I would like to handle the concept called the making of modern language. So, here in this concept, we have three sub-chapters. The first chapter is the influence of Bible or the Bible translation and the influence of William Shakespeare on English language and the influence of John Milton on English language. So in this class, I would like to handle how does William Shakespeare influence on modern language for the development modern language. As you know that is William Shakespeare is the father of the literature in English and also who was given the best contribution for the development of English literature during Elizabethan period. So as you know that William Shakespeare who wrote 154 sonnets, those 154 sonnets are love sonnets, and who wrote 36 dramas. Those 36 dramas includes historical dramas, tragedies, comedies and social dramas. So here how William Shakespeare become the famous because of the beauty of language he used in his works. The beauty of language he used in his work. So as you know that at the initial stage, William Shakespeare, who had 17,000 words vocabulary, and those 17,000 words William Shakespeare used in his works. And actually those 17,000 words are originally borrowed from the various languages in the world like Latin, French, Greek. And those words are changed by the William Shakespeare by converting those words from verbs to nouns, noun to verbs, and adding suffixes and prefixes to those Latin words and Greek words. And here, those 17,000 words which were created by William Shakespeare at the beginning stage. And as you know that William Shakespeare, who had the knowledge of 7 languages and who had the 20,000 words of vocabulary in English language, so which shows that his talent. And today, as you know that without remembering the name of the William Shakespeare, we cannot think in English, especially for English literature student. So because of that, whatever Shakespeare, who had given the great contribution for the development of drama, novel and poems, not only for the development of dramas, novel and the poem, and also for the development of English language. So that is the best contribution given by the William Shakespeare in the field of literature, in the field of languages. So how does he have given the contribution in the field of the language? So whatever the language he used in his theatres, in his novel, in his poems, though that language which was influenced on the readers, and at present day the readers are influenced by the William Shakespeare's languages. So that shows how does he use the excellent language in his works. And here, as you know that, and he borrowed many words from the many languages, and he directly used the local dialect of the French words, Latin words and Greek words, and he added into English language. So although who had given the information about that dialect, and who had just made it easily to convey the message to the readers. So because of that, we can see that the William Shakespeare, who had given the great contribution for the development of English language. So as you know that whatever William Shakespeare used, the words and phrases, whatever William Shakespeare used, the words and phrases in his works, those words and phrases are included in the one of the dictionaries called a Dictionary of the English Language. It shows that William Shakespeare, who had given the great contribution for the standardization of the English language in the modern world. So here, William Shakespeare, who includes many words for readers in his works, like that, the manager, which is coined by the William Shakespeare, and the fashionable, and eyeball, laughable, and gloomy. Already these words were existed, but William Shakespeare changed these words from verbs to nouns and noun to verbs, and he added suffixes and prefixes, and he changed the beauty of the words, and almost when the reader start reading such words, they are attracted towards the beauty of the words used by William Shakespeare in his work. And here, as you know that William Shakespeare, who had given the great contribution for the language, he did not give the great contribution for the language. For his work, whatever he used the language, that language which changed the rule of the language in the world. And also, whatever the structure, the grammatical structure used by the William Shakespeare, which was influenced on the reader's mind. So because of that, the grammar structure also changed because of the William Shakespeare. So we can see the best example, William Shakespeare, who had used a sentence in his work called Macbeth. So in that work, William Shakespeare used one sentence. That word is, "This is one of the cruelest murder I have seen in my life." This is one of the cruelest murder I have seen in my life. So here in this sentence we can see the grammatical error. That is one of the cruelest murder, one of the most cruelest murder. Here the article the and here superlative degree most, and again the cruelest, that is also superlative degree. So here William Shakespeare used two superlative degrees in a sentence. So here it is grammatically wrong, but that sentence which gives how was the murder was cruelest. To show that cruelty, William Shakespeare used these two terms. So we can see that the knowledge of William Shakespeare and the mastery of William Shakespeare on language. And here, as you know that this is how William Shakespeare influence of the grammar and influence of the language. And nowadays, at modern days, every writer wanted to become as a William Shakespeare by using the beauty of language. So here, whatever William Shakespeare has used, the language, that is excellent language ever seen in the field of literature, in the field of the language. So because of that, we call William Shakespeare as a master of language, as a master of using the words and phrases and the terms. This is the what William Shakespeare dominated on language. First, William Shakespeare, to enrich the beauty of English language, who borrowed many words from the many languages, and using those words in the English language, and made the English language colorful language and enriched the beauty of the language. And he invented so many words in his works, just like the word gloomy. The word gloomy actually it is a verb, and he used it as an adjective. And this word who used in his work called Titus Adamscus. And the verb is the verb law, and they used as a adjective. And the laughable word which is used in the Merchant of Venice, and the word the majestic which is used in the verb the Tempest. Actually the majestic, the original form is majesty, which is first used in 1300, and later it changed as a majestical in 1570. And William Shakespeare changed this majestic word as a majestic in the work The Tempest. And again, the next word is the word lonely, who used in his work called Cornelius. And actually, the word the lonely is alone. And the alone word, which is shortened into as a lone in 1400. And that lone word, which is changed as a lonely by William Shakespeare in his work Chronicles. And the next word is Chronicles, and which is used King Lear. Actually, the other term of the radiance is radianten. So actually, the radianten, the word is a Latin term, and the Latin word which gives the meaning beaming. For to mention the beaming, the Latin people used to use the word called radianter. So that radianter used by the William Shakespeare, and he changed it as a radiance in his work called King Lear. And other examples, words called eyeball, and Moonbeam, which was used in Midsummer Night Dreams. And the next one is Eventful, Marketable, and which is used in the As You Like It. And the next one is Scuffle, and which is used in Antony and Cleopatra. So these are some words which were invented by the William Shakespeare in his works. There are so many words, as I said in the beginning, around 17,000 words are invented by William Shakespeare, and those words who borrowed from the various languages, and he changed those words into from verb to noun, noun to verb, and verb to adjectives, and verb to adverb, and adding suffixes and prefixes. He changed those words and he invented those words, and he added those words into his works, and he made the beauty of language, and he enriches the beauty of language, and he made English language as a colorful language. And whatever he invented the words, actually, as we know that in the beginning those words were existed, but those words were not used by the people. Those words were not used by people much. And when William Shakespeare introduced himself in the field of literature, when Shakespeare introduced himself in the field of literature, at the beginning stage, he started learning every language existed in England during those 17th and 18th century. And here, first he learned Latin, French, and Greek, and borrowed those words and introduced those words into English language. He changed the beauty of those words, and those words are easily used by the readers, and those words become famous, and those words are introduced into English Oxford English Dictionary. So here, for the sake of the William Shakespeare name, those words still remain in the Oxford English Dictionary in this form. So this is what William Shakespeare, who had given his contribution for the making of the modern English language, and because of the William Shakespeare, this modern language becomes very famous, and globally this language is used by the people, and this is the most common language spoken in the entire world, because this is what William Shakespeare's contribution for the making of the modern language. Thank you, one and all. And in the next class, I will take on John Milton influence on modern language. Thank you, one and all.